What's going on, guys? So we're back again with another gameplay video. This time we have Jason here on the left playing U7, and we have Hayden here on the right playing Cooler Mill. So just before we get started into the gameplay video, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Team Card Titan. So if you guys want any DBS Seal products or DBS singles, make sure you check out that link in the description below. And for all the people in Australia and New Zealand, check out their auction page on Facebook as well. There's something for collectors and there's always something for players. Now, I dare say that this matchup for U7 isn't the greatest. You do kind of mill yourself already. I know that Jason here is running a 60 card deck, so he's a little bit higher than the usual deck count, but we're still at the threat of milling ourselves. And then with the cooler player also milling a little bit more. And the way this deck kind of works sometimes is you do just kind of passively build up a little bit of a board and you win through that because you just get multiple swings. Otherwise, you just go for your big bombs, which is probably what Jason's going to have to do. He's going to have to go for his big bombs. Scary thing, though, is by the point or the time that comes up, there is a potential that Cooler has a decent amount of energy and a decent amount of potential to get some minusing, to just be able to kill that card, which is rather scary, right? Because then we can start getting more mills, and if your deck's already getting a little bit low, especially if you whiff on some of the U7s when we actually do the mills, there's always that potential as well, and that always feels bad. I feel like always feels bad. So let's see what happens here. I am not too sure who's going first here. I think if Jason gets a chance to go first, he's probably in a little bit of a better position. If he's going second, I definitely think Hayden is going to be in charge of most of the game here with the cooler mill, unfortunately. And it looks like Hayden hasn't charged anything. Hayden has charged something now, so it looks like we are going second as a U7. So that is unfortunate, I definitely think. Especially because we also get an extra draw on the first turn if we swing with our leader, right? Which I don't think you're going to give that up. Now, I think back in the day, Matt Coombs probably had it the best explanation for any time you verse a mill deck, right? If you know a mill deck is in the format, you need to know exactly what your deck does against that mill deck and do just that, right? So what he means by that is if you are going to control them, you play the control route. They're probably going to control you better though, because that's usually what mill decks do. If you're going to aggress them, you go that aggression route. You know exactly what you're doing, but you need to know, you can't figure out halfway. You have to know exactly what your game plan is before you step into that match. So for anyone out there and that listens to that advice, I would always encourage playing against mill decks. Janemba Mill I have seen popping up a little bit again in the format, which scares the shit out of me. It's not a fun thing for many people to verse against. Great thing to play. If you ever played it, you'll know the feeling of playing it, how fun it can be. But it can be horrible to kind of just sit there and have to verse. Now, we are getting a few mills for U7, which is good. So we are hitting some U7s. We've got, it looks like 5 just there. Jason's splitting them for us, which makes it a lot nicer. So next turn we get our Awaken. But again, we have taken 6 to 8 to 9 to, I think it's about 10 cards being taken from the deck, right? Because we've drawn off our leader, we've milled off our leader, plus we've also got draws for turn. So putting it closer potentially to the cooler win con of the mill. Now, Hayden obviously playing this freezer out, which is absolutely incredible here. This card, I feel like, is real MVP at some points, right? Because what we're going to do just there is we're minusing 1 and we're just going to mill 1. Now, we do get an extra U7. That puts us at our 7, right? If I was Jason, probably next turn, I wouldn't go the mill on the leader. I think you just leave it. You awaken. You've got your 7. That's fine. We don't need to put ourselves at a threatening range here to get one more card. I don't think it's worth it, okay? I definitely think it's better to start putting some pressure. Now, interesting to see what Jason is playing this time. So usually he mains a Piccolo Unison, and then he sides into the Jiren Unison if he wants, right? So interesting that he's decided to go for the mill. I'm rather confused. I'm not too sure why. I don't think it's worth getting that extra thing. But we have sided into our Jiren Unison, and this is the perfect turn to awaken as well. Being able to get the Jiren Unison. Now, he's going to swing, draw a card, untap, draw a card, draw a card. Now, if this is the other thing, right? Another thing is if drawing cards gets you to your win con quicker and you need to draw cards, do that, right? As I said, exactly what Matt Coombs said is you need to know exactly what your deck does before you step into it, right? So you need to know if you're going to be drawing cards, you need to know, yes, I'm going to be drawing cards throughout the game. It puts them closer to their win con, but it puts me closer to my win con quicker. Therefore, I will do that job. I will do exactly that. So again, interesting to see. We're drawing quite a lot, milling quite a lot. Scary, but we're putting pressure on too, which I definitely think is a good choice here, right? He is not letting up. He is trying to get as much damage through as possible. Only scary thing here is we have 2 energy still available for us, which we can use just both to kill with Freezer. Now, we are just going to minus our 15, mill 1, because we do get our minus. I believe no matter what the mill occurs, I think it only gets a draw, I believe, when you mill with a battle card. And I think that's only on the back side as well, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if that occurs on the front or not. I could be wrong. Haven't seen this deck in a while, but still very, very powerful. Mill win con's always great. You've got so much more utility as well, I feel like, with this deck. The fact that we have the new promos and you just have a lot of more aggressive routes that if mill isn't going to be the right choice, you've got your other ways to win. So it looks like here we are going to just pass the turn. No battle cards on board. Again, a very good choice, right? I think the way that U7 kind of wins in this matchup is you put a big threat on the board and you swing with that. And now the Unison is probably one of the safest things possible, I would say, to be able to get onto the board. I think that's definitely protection. Now, what happens here is the fact that Jason established his Unison first is stronger. I'm hoping that he realized he did not, unfortunately. So we do get to minus on a battle card or Unison, right? The fact that you get your Jiren Unison first means that we can minus their Jiren Unison on the play, which means that it gives us a safe turn against it and then a way to potentially kill it the next turn. But as Jason is playing, he needs to just keep applying pressure to the leader, I feel, right? We need to apply pressure. Only hard thing here as well is Jiren obviously has its other minus condition, which is rather scary too. So there is that potential that we go for a minus on a big battle card. So depending on what route Jason's going to go here, which I think would be the Goku route this next turn, I would say what we would do is we plus our Jiren, swing our double strike into our Jiren, take it down to 2 markers, and then we swing once with our Goku into that Jiren, right? Look at the hand, take out any mill things or any super combos. I think at this point we probably take a super combo looking at it. And that way, what we do is we clear the Jiren off the board, force them to establish another one if we wish, and then we just keep applying pressure with that card, right? So we are going to draw a card just here. Now, again, is it the right choice? Who knows? The reason he could have milled earlier as well is to turbo to the 20 cards in drop, which if that was the choice, that obviously makes a little bit more sense now, because that way we can look at the hand with our sparking 20. He hasn't been milled too much so far. I was expecting a few more mills or a few more battle cards on the board. The fact that that hasn't happened, obviously, probably good that he did go for his mills. So we are going to go for a Vegeta just here. Going to kill this Freezer off the board and we're going to draw a card. Now, I'm assuming we just didn't have our... we wouldn't have had our Goku available. But I'm assuming that all attacks here go into this Jiren Unison. We're just going to clear it off the board as soon as possible. Koitsukai are going to be a huge card in this matchup. Being able to just force so many cards from the hand for him to want to get some minuses going is going to be rather threatening. So maybe we're going into leader. So interesting choice. He's choosing not to go for the Unison at all and just go straight into leader. Now, scary thing is we do have a battle card available on the board, right? So I don't think that was the right choice. I think clearing the Jiren Unison here was the correct choice. Just getting that off board as soon as possible. So that way we feel a little bit safer. Plus, if we focus his Unison, it means that Hayden can't combo either, which is rather scary for him, right? So if we start swinging into his Unison, he doesn't get any combo or any bonuses off that. Now, We are going to, it looks like minus, maybe use the quotes. I don't think using the quotes right now is probably the best thing. We're not going on a massive push. I would have saved that for next turn. That way we can do our quotes and then into our Goku 8 cost, right? Because that is absolutely insane, being able to protect that card. Plus being able to, I guess, potentially kill the Unison here. Now, I think we have to kill the Unison. So that's why I'm surprised we didn't go 20k straight into the Unison. Right? I think that was probably the better choice. It's 20k into the Unison, if that was the card we were playing. 20k from leader into the Unison plus the double strike clears it off the board. We don't have to deal with that again, unless he establishes another one. If we force him to use exactly 3 energy, it makes it a little bit scary for him. It means he's only got 1 left and he needs another Beerus to start untapping, getting things going. But if we play our Goku, that we can look at the hand, we can take that Beerus away from him, right? Which is rather scary for him. So that way there's a potential that he has no more untap if he taps his energy wrong. Okay? So we are going to, it looks like, combo up to 30k, untapping an energy as well. So leaving at 20k. At this point, I would say we're just going to go for our Jiren. Unless we are going leader. We're going leader, it looks like, trying to put some pressure through. Only thing is he'll probably lose his next turn. So we are going to combo, just take it up to 30, which is fair enough as well. All right. Now, I can see in hand Hayden does have Big Smoke, right? Or Black Smoke. I can't remember exactly. I think it's Black Smoke. I always call it Big Smoke. That card in this deck hasn't been played for a while. Obviously, the aggressive routes and Gohanks have been a really good card. But potentially really good in this matchup because Jason mills so much, right? And it's not like we're playing heaps of threats in a turn. We are just going to play usually one. Either we play lots of little attackers or we play one big bomb, okay? So Big Smoke could kind of just accelerate our win condition a little bit better if we need. Now, he does need quite a few more cards in the drop area. Hand is getting a little bit lower. As I said, I think we should have focused the Jiren Unison last turn, clearing that off the board, right? Because at this point, he's probably not going to really try to give you too much and just go for the mill out, I would say, because that deck is looking a little bit thin. So I'm assuming Unison to Unison just here. Exactly what we got. And then I'm assuming this last one probably into Unison again. That way we can just combo 1 and just really just finish it off, I think is worth it. And then if we establish this cooler, yep, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to establish a cooler onto the board potentially. So do a little bit more aggressive milling during our turn. Right, minus by 10, which is fine. Plus, if we minus that, we're going to hit the Dell as well, so we can minus 20, but that means we got 2 targets to hit. So we are going to get our mills, of course. You still get your mills. So mill 1 for the play, then mill 2 for the 2 battle cards on board. So mill 1 for the play. He draws a card, right? And then he mill 2 as well, because they will be dead. Right? Sorry, I can't remember exactly what he milled. So mill 1 and then mill 2. There we go. So getting some mills. Now, I don't know what Jason's got left in deck, but it's looking pretty thin to me, which is rather scary. So Hayden just really needs to play defense here. Unfortunately, all I can see in hand really is a lot of Piccolo Unisons, which kind of sucks. I'm assuming he's running like a 4-2 on the Jiren, and this matchup's probably he's got the Jiren. May have even sided into the Jiren, which is a good choice. A lot of lists I've seen aren't running Unisons too much anymore, just because they want to have access to their combo all the time, right? Which I think is always a good choice as well. If you don't have a Unison, it means your opponent has to swing your leader or battle card, and then it allows them to get their effects. Now, this is why I was saying I think clearing the Unison last turn was the correct choice, right? Rather than leaving it to now. This way, right, what's happened is we're going to play this, we're going to minus. It's not getting any benefit, that's fine. But it's more about what he would have been able to do is being able to just kill this Unison, right? look at the hand, and then just take whatever's important out of that hand. Now, the only card that I think we can take right now, looking at it, is the Freezer. I'm pretty sure, because we can't take the Big Smoke, I don't believe. And we can't... Oh, we can... No, we can't take the Unison. We can take Bean, though, as well. My apologies. Because they have energy costs. So, scary here, because now what we've done is minus by 10, plus 40 on the leader, mill 1, no draw, but then we can go the Durin, minus 3, right? Just kill that card, right? And this is exactly why I was saying we needed to focus on that Unison last turn, clear that off the board. So that way, what we would have had as our backup is being able to swing with this big boy again, right? Because I think that would have stayed on board. I don't see that getting milled, getting minused enough. Swing with this big boy, look at the hand, take out what you need, swing again, plus our Durin Unison, plus our leader. Would have been really scary. Plus, if he went for his Koitzakaya this turn as well, I feel like it would have been pretty safe. Now, we're not going to be able to kill this Unison, right? I don't think we really care, though, as Hayden here. I think what we're going to go for now is probably our Big Smoke. I'd hope we have enough cards in our drop area. If not, we probably combo some off. We could replace our Unison as well if we need to. Let's see. I didn't really get a good count, but I'm hoping we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. We've got exactly what we need. We go a mill 10. We're pretty close to our win condition then, I think, if we do that. And I would dare say that we've got a decent amount of control still with this Durin on the board. So I'm pretty sure we just go our mill 10, which puts Jason a lot closer to milling out. Now, mill's always going to be a tough matchup for this deck, I think, no matter what, right? Because you're kind of accelerating their win con. 9, that must be in 10, that must be in the 10. I believe, looking at it, we've probably only got 4 cards left in deck, I think. I would dare say, and they all go to the warp as well, so you can't pick it up with your leader. We've used the leader effect anyway to pick up our 8 costs. We just plus here. I don't even think we turn sideways, honestly. I think what we do is we just sit on that now and just sit back and just protect, play as much as we can. Now, the scary thing here is, of course, we do have the option here to, I guess, go for a win con, right? We do have an option to go for a win con if we really wanted to, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we just sit back. I think the only swing that was worth it was the cooler. We get 1 card out of it, which turned into a Beerus, which thankfully that's going to be really, really nice. And I think that's possibly going to win him the game. I think there's only 3 cards left in deck if I'm looking at it. There's 4 cards left in deck. I don't know if we've drawn for turn. I don't think we'll draw off our leader here either. I think we probably just leave it. But if he puts a battle card on the board, that means that we're pretty much gamed just there, right? So he's taking away his ability to use Yamcha or anything like that to get more mills. Scary thing here though, right? I think we've got exactly 3 left in deck. If not, we've got 4. So let's see what he goes for. He's going to be able to get the effect to get some burns and things off. Interesting to see if he's able to combo out of this attack though, right? Which I think we actually can, knowing that we've got minus 15 in hand. Sorry, we can't negate, my apologies. Cannot use counters. But we do have Beerus, untaps an energy. And then we do have our Cooler Arrival, which I believe mills exactly 3 cards just here. Maybe just 2. Just 2, sorry, because we mill 1 on play and then we get to minus that as well, right? So we mill 1 on play. Then we mill another card, right? And then I believe that minuses by, I think it's 10k. So that gives us access here to, so we've got 25. If we can get to 35, which we can because we can just combo off that cooler just there, that saves us. Yeah. So I think that saves us just there because now we're only going to be able to get 1 more swing in with this. But we do have access, it looks like, to our Super 17 or our Android 17. Scary thing is, though, we got Android 17. Obviously, he doesn't know that there's a Wolfang Fist in hand. That's going to mill him one more card as well. And then Hayden is able to just black smoke or even just pass turn and finish off the game just there. So we are going to go into the 17. We almost had it here. Almost had it. Right? We do have to mill one more because we're minusing with June. Right? If we didn't minus with June before. And then we're going to swing in here. And then we're going to get Wolfang. And then we're going to minus a mill our last one. Yep. So there we go, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, that is it. That is game. It is a tough matchup, unfortunately, for U7. It is, you have to really know exactly what you're doing going into this matchup, knowing that you mill yourself. It was kind of interesting to see Black Smoke. I really like that card. It's been changed out for Gohanks, I think, in a lot of decks, but it shows how strong it can be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.